Welcome, I'm Malcolm Gallagher, and you're watching the BVTV network coming from the UK studios of BizVision. The world of hospitality has had to dramatically change over the past few years in many ways. It's not just COVID that has affected the sector, but also technology and new concepts. And we're going to meet a fabulous new innovation today, which could not only be in your personal kitchen soon, but also help widen the offerings of, say, small cafes, outside catering, even mobile chefs. From Njori to talk about Tempo, let's go meet Nick Orme. Hello, Nick.
Hi, how you doing?
Welcome. Now, listen, I like Tempo, and I'm going to look forward to chatting about it. How long did it take you to develop it? Just before we tell people what it is.
It's been quite a long journey. It's been about 3 years of technical development. Myself and my co-founder are originally design engineers, so we've been battling away with this with electronics engineers to develop it all and make sure it's all as we planned.
Yeah, I'm glad about that, because people think that, you sit in your bath and go eureka, and next week it's on the shelf. It doesn't work like that, does it?
No, unfortunately not. There's a lot of technical development, and then there's a lot of I guess you just have to, once you get the idea, you then have to form the business to actually try and sell it.
Yeah, I've got you now. Nick, let's get straight into it. What is Tempo and how does it work?
So in a nutshell, it's essentially a portable induction cooker. But the beauty of Tempo is that it has lots of sensors and systems built in that actively monitor weight and temperature. So it means that when you're cooking something, you know the exact temperature that you're setting, and the cooker will regulate that temperature. So whatever you're putting in the pan, whether it's cold ingredients, the cooker always has you covered. So it's always keeping that temperature that you've set accurate. And because of the precision it has, it means you can do lots of different cooking techniques that would otherwise require expensive and bulky equipment. And we've designed it to be as portable and to take up as little space as possible. So try to tick as many boxes as possible there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously viewers can see on the screen behind me a picture, but listeners, if you want to go, please go to the following website, and I'll spell it out, Njori out for you. That's N for Norma, Njori, njori.com, to have a look at Tempo. We'll talk a little bit more about that website as we go through our conversation, Nick. What caused you to invent it?
So, as I said, myself and my co-founder were design engineers, and we used to develop a lot of products for other companies. And we're big cooks as well. So we both used to sit next to each other talking about food regularly. And it's just one of the things that we regularly came up in conversations, like, why has no one done this? And then we talk about how you could do it. And then it kind of all started from there, really. And then, we 3 years later, we ended up creating it. So
yeah, I can see many commercial uses for it, especially say in small cafes or outside catering, as we were saying before, mobile chefs, which has become extremely interesting market. Is all of that feasible? What's its limitations?
I mean, technically, yes. I mean, we designed it to be a sort of domestic product, so for people cooking at home. But having said that, I mean, essentially, because it's got so much versatility in what you can do with it, and because it takes up such little space, we've had a lot of interest from exactly those places. A lot of private chefs who have to travel to different kitchens and obviously have to take bits of pieces of equipment with them. They've been interested because it just allows them to, condense that down and take, everything they need in one small unit. So it does have a lot of benefits. I think. In those areas, the one thing that we just have to ensure is that the materials and the actual build quality is completely, robust enough, because obviously, professional kitchens can take a bit of a battering. But that's something that we're making, we're putting a lot of effort into with our testing. So it's definitely possible.
I just see, every time I look at it, I see more and more different options. I've done lots of presentations, particularly in food and drink industry, where we've been people have been demonstrating their food and their drink to hoteliers and hospitality people coming along, and they're carrying in big gas cylinders, or you're panicking about safety and things like that. I suppose as well as gas is about to be replaced within kitchens, there's a good, interesting market, is there not, for Tempo?
Yeah, I mean, so Tempo uses induction. So you're essentially, you're not heating an element which is then transferring heat to a pan. You're heating the pan directly. So there's a lot less energy loss, and it's a lot more efficient, which is exactly why we can do all the, the techniques with the sensors, and that's how it all works, really. And induction is something that's obviously coming into modern kitchens a lot more these days, especially new build flats, just because of the space saving and the efficiency of them. So I think it's a trend that we noticed, and it's part of the reason why we decided to create Tempo.
Yeah, and as the pressure is on to move towards net zero, I think it seems to me it could help dramatically.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, it's more energy efficient, and it's cheaper as well for your for your household bills. So yeah, I mean, I think there's definitely a shift towards induction cooking. I know for a lot of people, it's not got the same feel as cooking with a flame. But what we're trying to create with this is like a level of accuracy that you can't achieve with other types of cooking. So you can set the exact temperature, and that's going to be the temperature that's regulated.
Yeah. So just to remind listeners again, for our Beds, Bars and Bookings podcast, it's Njori, which is spelled NJORI.com. What's the benefits of its portability then? Does it make it easier, for example, to clean?
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that we wanted to create with this is a product that isn't going to take up your counter space. Obviously, we're both based in London, and kitchen space is limited. And we have a lot of kit. So, one of the things that was a bugbear for me is just having boxes of bits and pieces and accessories for various bits of cookers and stuff. So, it only seemed sort of sensible when we were designing this to kind of make it all as compact as possible. So the idea is this: it complements your main cooker, so you can use it as and when you want. And when you're not using it, you can pop it on a shelf alongside your cookbooks. But because of the fact that you can remove the magnetic dial and all the accessories store away, it makes it really easy to clean. Exactly. So we try to do a few things with that, just to make it far more kind of functional and a bit more practical for people.
I can see the Food Standard Agency officers loving you about that. I notice you're currently on a Kickstarter funding round. How does that work, and what's the benefits for an investor?
So the reason we chose Kickstarter was it's a great way to get the product out into the world as early as possible, really, and it also gives us a great opportunity to test the markets further abroad. So the US is a big obviously big user of Kickstarter, and there's great potential there for this product. So it gives us an early chance just to see where the interest is and what people think of it, get some early feedback, and at a point where we're still putting the finishing touches to the product. So it's really useful for us in order to sort of plan the next year or 2 years for our products.
Well, we got thousands of USA viewers, so I'm looking forward to hearing their thoughts on that. Now, can people buy one now?
So people can pre-order them, yeah. So our Kickstarter campaign actually lasted 30 days, but we've kind of kept it open using another platform as well called Indiegogo In Demand, which is essentially the same sort of thing. Just allows us to kind of continue taking pre-orders. And yeah, people can find that through our website, or via our social channels. But you can pre-order a product now. All the information about our journey to this point and what our plans are for like the next few months are all on there as well, and they get to see a real in-depth view of the product. And we've even got a video on there which sort of is us explaining sort of why we came up with it and how it works. So yeah, everything you need.
Yeah, even if you're not thinking about buying one now, you must go along, because otherwise you're going to be left way behind. And just think, if you get one in before your neighbors do, what the conversation can be. Yeah. Do you see, without giving away any confidential elements to Nick, do you see a range of them with, say, a larger one for commercial purposes?
I think it's definitely something we're looking into. I think so. We always had a plan of sort of the future products that would come after this, and we had a lot of people who are interested in in like a double version of this. So there's a lot of interesting ideas that are flying around at the moment. So I think I said we had a plan already, so we've just got to make sure that we what people want aligns with those plans. And yeah, we've definitely got some exciting products that we're planning on after this. The ultimate goal was always to create sort of the built-in version of Tempo. So that's still our aim one day. But yeah, we want to do it in a nice sort of there's other products that we want to create first, basically. So it will all come in good time.
I'm going to be looking forward to talking to you about them. Now, look, I've got a confession to make. After well over 40 years in the hospitality industry, I'm not a very good cook. My chili's good, but that's about it. What variety of cooking, though, could Tempo bring me, say, over a small hob?
Well, so the beauty of this is its versatility. So it can accompany your main hob if you're needing very specific cooking techniques like sous vide, temperature control, deep frying. If you need to set specific temperatures, even tempering chocolate or something like that, then the Tempo has you covered on that side. But the other plan that like we wanted to do with this is for it to kind of help basically help build people's confidence in the kitchen. So people who don't have the experience of a professional chef, they're able to set specific temperatures, and they know, for example, you can put the probe into a piece of meat and know exactly when it's finished cooking because it's at that perfect temperature. So it takes a lot of the guesswork away from kind of cooking perfection, and it basically hopefully then makes you a more confident cook, and each time what temperature that you should set something to, and you can get that consistency each time you cook. So yeah, as I said, there's a lot of unknowns for sort of a slightly more inexperienced cook, and a lot of people are daunted by that, but being able to set the same temperature each time, it gives you that ability to sort of understand a little bit more about the cooking process, and you can create that consistency each time you get in the kitchen.
My mind is buzzing with the alternatives. I worked a good few years ago with celebrity chef Prue Leith on talking about how schools, which had got rid of their kitchens, were putting people into the marketplace who couldn't cook. And so what they were doing is buying more and more ready meals and so on. Whereas and I do, that it's much less costly if you can learn to cook, but learning to cook wasn't easy. It seems like Tempo's got that slightly cracked from my point of view, doesn't it?
I hope so, yeah. As I said, it's something that we obviously, a lot of sort of semi-pro chefs or people who know what they're doing will buy this because it allows them to experiment with, things like sous vide and chocolate tempering, which are very specific techniques. But at the same time, we want people who perhaps don't have that knowledge to buy this and then sort of really take their cooking level to the next level. And hopefully, they can sort of learn a little bit about temperatures and what sort of things that they should be cooking and how to cook them on the way. So it's it's definitely a product that we want to appeal to everybody, not just the pros, the inexperienced chefs as well.
Yeah, I personally think that Nick and his colleague are onto a winner here with Tempo. What's your thoughts, viewers and listeners? Thanks, Nick, for a fascinating interview about a great and innovative product.
Thanks very much for having me.